so much for coming. It really does mean a lot to us that all of you guys come out here because if you didn't, they would not let us do this at all. They just tell us to stay home. So if you have not yet spoken to one of us up here on the panel or to Regina wearing the bunny ears, it's easy to find her. If we don't know yet, if you have not spoken to us yet about the item that you've brought in to be appraised, we don't know you exist. So please come up here, speak to us, let us know that you exist. We have a list. We'll get through as many people on the list as we possibly can, and we will begin pretty shortly once everybody gets seated. So thank you all for coming. Yeah. What's up? We will bring you up. He has an Earthbound prototype.
A what?
An Earthbound prototype.
Oh, okay.
Looks like the prototype. I've seen that before. You should look at it.
He bought it from the guy who bought it. So not the guy who Jelly ran it, but you bought it from the guy. You're not the guy who bought it. No. I remember this one. All right, we'll save this for when you're ready.
For what? Yeah, exactly. We'll have this conversation.
Okay, I remember that. That's the guy.
What's up? Of course, yeah. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, the millions of you at home watching the PAX live stream. We are aware the stream is live. Hello, you are watching the Retro Game Roadshow. We're not starting yet because the people here at PAX are still streaming in, and we don't want to start, and they'll be ticked off at us if we just start doing this without them sitting in here. However, I just want to let you guys know that we are aware that you're out there on the internet watching our live stream. We're not forgetting about you. Please keep it there at twitch.tv/PAX or whatever URL you are at, because this is going to be awesome. You don't want to miss it. It is better than anything else on the entire internet. I'm talking directly to you, camera. That's right. So we will keep chatting amongst ourselves up here, and we will see you guys very soon. So just keep watching. It's really entertaining to just watch us do nothing up here. Now, if you're here in person with us, hello again, welcome, Retro Game Roadshow, PAX East 2012, celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Retro Games Roadshow. It is a PAX East tradition. The PAX primers, I always let those guys know that really it's a PAX East show, and they just get to come along for the ride. East Coast. I'm going to get shot for whatever that gang sign was. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have brought items to be evaluated by our panel of incredibly handsome experts and me, I want to let you know that if we have not already spoken to you, if you have not come up to one of us and said, hey, I've got this item and my name is whatever your name is, we don't know you exist yet. So please, if you have an item, especially if you're kind of sitting there in the back, and you've got stuff, come up and talk to Regina here, or me, or just any of these guys, and make sure that we know that you know that we know what your thing is. I'm confused too. You don't have to bring it all up here, ma'am. You can leave it. Come up, just. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I know, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Retro Game Roadshow PAX East 2012.
Am I on?
We are, as ever, very, very happy to see you. Again, thank you all so very much for coming out. We are very excited to be back. Basically, I think you guys know the concept by now. It's kind of like Antiques Roadshow or Pawn Stars, but it's all video games all the time. Audience members, just like you and possibly you, have brought in your video game collectibles from your collection, and you will be coming up here. We have a list of your names, and we'll be calling people up, as many people as we can possibly get through in this hour that we have here today. Very, very brief PowerPoint presentation that I worked really hard on. I want to show you guys.
I love PowerPoint.
Awesome.
First of all, let's just get all this out of the way. Who are these people? Who are these a-holes, and why are they telling me things about video games? My name is Chris Kohler. I'm the video games editor at Wired. And we also have down here at the end...
I'm Joe Santulli. My current title is Director of Video Game History Museum, but many of you know me from Digital Press. We did the price guides for video games for quite a while.
He is OG. He was pricing video games before pricing video games was... Well, pricing video games is not actually cool yet, but we're getting there. And it's all thanks to work of people like you. And then, of course, panel stalwart...
Hi, Frank Cifaldi, video game historian, news director at Gama Sutra. I've been doing the video game journalism thing for quite a while. You know, actually, Joe, my first published work was your book 10 years ago, so thank you for launching my career.
And finally, and another brand new panelist...
Hi, I'm Steve Lynn. I'm the VP of Consumer Operations for GREE, longtime collector, first-time panelist.
Yes. Actually, and I got to tell you guys, I'm very happy to have Steve here. Steve was supposed to be part of the Retro Game Roadshow since, like, panel 1. And then he decided that it would be cool to get cancer.
It's really cool.
Yeah, seriously. You weren't thinking about the team here. But Steve beat cancer!
Thanks, everybody.
Or I'm sorry, you solved cancer.
Solved, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I priced it.
So we always, you passed cancer.
Yes.
So we always do a little bit of educational stuff, and what we talked about at PAX East was like video games that were going up in price or things to watch out for. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about this time was video games that have actually gone down in price. If you're a collector, if you're going to be spending money, you really got to be careful, because the thing you might spend a lot of money on that's rare today might not be rare tomorrow. Here's an example. This is a game called Caltron 6-in-1. It's an unlicensed Nintendo NES game. And this photo, I actually pulled it from an eBay auction because, well, first of all, people have paid for a sealed Caltron 6-in-1 about $2,000 a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
2,000 to 3,000.
Yeah, and it was considered one of the toughest, NES games to get. People paid thousands of dollars for it. It's this weird game made by this one company. What do you guys see in that picture from this eBay auction?
Packing peanuts.
Underneath the packing peanuts? More copies of First of all, this eBay seller is a huge dumbass, because if I had a box full of copies of this game, I wouldn't advertise to people that once they bought this one, there's hella more copies underneath that I'm going to be selling. But what ended up happening to Caltron? Well, a sealed copy of Caltron can now be had for actually about $200.
Can I interject here for a second? I'm sorry. I'm not a big-time Nintendo collector, but every once in a while I check eBay and saw this for $200.
Yeah.
I was like, woo! Nobody else saw it.
Yeah.
And I thought all the way up until now that it was until I saw the email recently
that you got a huge deal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It happens.
Oh, it's on the big price drops list.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
I'm
that's
sorry
the
you
thing.
paid market value.
You can learn something and know something and be like, oh, I know this game is worth money, and then that can actually change and get the rug pulled out from under you. Gets worse. This is a Japanese game. It's called Circus Lido for the PC Engine, the TurboGrafx 16. Time was, you'd go to Akihabara, right, in Tokyo, and this game would be in the glass case of the Akihabara store. You know, like if they'd have it behind glass. You'd have to pay thousands of dollars because it was like the rarest PC Engine game. And you know, you had to complete your PC Engine collection, you had to get this. And people had paid for just, I don't even think it was sealed, I think just for a straight up, just for a copy of this game, there were collectors who had paid $5,000. Somebody found a warehouse like that had copy upon copy of this game, brand new in the shrink wrap. You can go onto eBay today and buy a brand new copy for about $50, and nobody's even bidding on them. All the PC Engine collectors in the world have their copy. People, I've heard tell of people paying $5,000 for this worthless game. So be careful, be safe when you're out there. You know, it happened to Rez, PlayStation 2 version of Rez. Like there were people like hoarding sealed copies of Rez for PlayStation 2. I'm going to send my kids to college. Sega reprinted it. They still run the PlayStation 2 presses at Sony, so they just made more games. Whoops, now it's not worth anything. Anyway, that's all the dumb stuff for the beginning of the show.
So the lesson is don't collect anything.
Don't do it. No, you know what the lesson is?
There's a warehouse of everything just sitting somewhere.
If you're gonna speculate about the value of things, well, you know what? It's your responsibility to be totally on top of things like this, you know, and you know, buy low and sell high. You know how you can get away from this by just buying video games that you really like. Then it, you know, kind of doesn't really matter where the price goes. But that's not why we're here. We're all here because we're crazy. So let's get our first guest panelist up here. How about let's start things off with Dan G. You want to come up here? So now, Dan, welcome, Dan. Yeah, Sarah's here. So Dan actually came to us at PAX Prime, and he had just purchased a sealed copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga from the retailer Pink Gorilla out at PAX Prime. I got that right? Yeah. And so I'm curious to see what he's brought us now, what purchases he may have brought, so we can tell him if he got a good deal or not.
Hi Dan, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I don't know which one you want to start with.
These mics are really directional, by the way, so we're going to make sure they're pointed right at your face.
The one that I like the most,
Let's start
because
with
it's
that.
in such in good
Yeah.
condition, is
You've brought about 4 games, so we're going to run through. This is the lightning round.
Yeah.
is
Oh, I know what that is.
Dragon Force for the Sega Saturn.
Dragon Force for the Sega Saturn.
If you guys are familiar with the band, they did take their name from this game.
Yes.
The reason why I like it is because it's in pristine condition,
Sure is.
and that's why I brought it.
Shiny.
It's in, I mean, and that's the reason why I bought it, was because it was. Wait, there's a crack.
Cases are replaceable on
Sorry.
Saturn games.
It's not a crack, that's a sword.
You scared me there. All right.
Well, even if it was a crack, you could replace the case.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is a game by Working Designs. You've got
It's got the goodies in it.
you've got the sticker.
Each one changes the value.
So there were stickers in there, and you could actually take that sticker and put it on your backup memory card, right? There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Frank, you're going to have to caress the touchpad occasionally, I guess.
You know I can caress.
So we're not going to go too crazy with all this kind of stuff, but yes, this Dragon Force is in very nice. Dan, why don't you wager a guess at what you think is worth?
Well, I bought it for 100, so.
That's
The condition was so good, I didn't care.
I'd say that's even a pretty good deal. The Dragon Forces in that condition are actually going for upwards of $100 now.
Can anyone on the panel verify the 4 sticker claim from the audience?
I'm not going to touch that. I don't know.
I don't actually know either.
Okay.
I thought it was the disc.
I don't
cover.
generally,
The
when
disc
people
itself,
shout random
like,
things
that
at
was
me, I
different.
tend to just believe them. Yeah. I met a guy on the street who's Jesus.
Yes. All right.
So what else we got? What else we got? Let's work this, again, lightning round.
Another one is Police Knots.
Do you guys know this
Ooh.
game?
This is I love PAX. It's the only place where like people see a video game and applaud.
So this still has the, what do you call these?
The Obi.
Spine card.
The
Spine card. Thank you, Joe.
This one is also
This
in
is
really
nice.
good condition too, so that's why.
Boy, it sure is.
It has its little book.
It's very shiny.
Problem
this
is,
is the-
I can't play it, can't read Japanese, so.
Yeah, right, yes. This is the Hideo Kojima game. It's the sequel to Snatcher, which was released in the US on the Sega CD, but the sequel never got released here. So this is actually pretty cool. I'm going to plead ignorance, actually, on this one, guys. I don't know. Special edition of Police Knots on Saturday.
If you've never played this game, it's basically like Japanese Lethal Weapon, as you can kind of see. I'm not making that up. That's actually basically what it is. It's an adventure game, like a story-based adventure game. It's a really good game, actually. I'm also going to plead ignorance on the price, unfortunately. But Steve, do you have any input?
I mean, my guess would be somewhere in like 225 range.
Really, that much?
You think so?
Yeah, that's just total random guesses.
I only paid $40 for it.
So I think you're wrong, dude.
See, yeah, but
Don't we usually cheat before the panel and look at eBay? What happened?
No,
I mean,
sometimes we don't
that's
cheat.
great if it's 200.
no. I mean, I think it all depends. I mean, from where I'm sitting, and the condition looks really
Yeah.
good. There's,
Yeah, the condition's pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah, condition's great.
So you wanna
I
come
mean,
over
I'm
here
probably
with
way
your
off, so now you
jeweler's
can now
lens,
not
Steve?
listen to anything
Yeah.
else I say.
So I want
Is
to
your
talk about your
microphone
next
on,
game.
Joe?
This one I'm going to nail right up.
Is your
the bat.
microphone on? Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay. What else we got?
Let's go to the next one. Typically, people don't get to do 4 games, but these
But
are
he's
4
got
pretty
cool
games.
things, 4 cool
Whoa, is that still? Oh man,
Dracula.
It still got some shrink wrap on it.
it's got some shrink wrap. Impressive on that. I don't want to get you guys too excited. It's got some shrink wrap still on it.
Did you open this already? Did you
No,
check
that
the
it came
contents?
like that.
No, I'm asking, did you check the contents inside?
Yeah.
Or should I? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I played it.
How is the manual? Because so here's the thing. So this is a very if you collect Castlevania games, this is a very very difficult Super Nintendo Castlevania game to find, especially with the box, and the manual. I have this in my manual. The manual has the manual has a space for writing in passwords. And you find a lot of manuals for this game where somebody has written passwords in. How is the instruction book here?
Unfortunately, it looks like I might not have it.
Uh-oh. No.
Do you have it at home, or is it just not?
I don't really notice it or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's came.
Oh,
with
we
a
may have
manual,
crushed your dreams. Is there no manual in there?
That's a problem.
That's a shame.
Dead to me.
So, yeah.
I've sold this
throw it
game
out behind
complete in my store, almost like that, but with the manual for $225.
Yeah.
That seems about right.
That's
yeah.
about right.
I'm actually just doing prices from the future, so my 225 earlier was for this item.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, I mean...
You're reading the script
Here's the
wrong.
thing, though.
man.
That box is really, really fantastic.
Well,
And
there's
if
a little bit of a. Hang on. It's
a little
Oh, there's a bit of a dent. Okay, but
Yeah,
even
that
with that dent, the box is really, really nice.
It's still a really nice box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're looking at really like probably about 150 for that. Yeah, because of the missing manual. Unfortunately, people really want that.
You think it's $100?
$150.
From 250 was it?
I mean, I wouldn't do it. I would just pretend I didn't know the manual was missing.
Yeah.
But
Shop at Digital Press Video Games for all your fraudulent shopping needs.
Actually, I've seen a bunch of my customers here, and they know. They'll always open it. Let's just make sure it's complete.
And here, I'm going to say you got a good deal on this last game you have here.
So should I cover up the price tag first?
No, show him what he paid.
Okay,
If he-
Livia
if he doesn't
too.
even know. What would you pay? Now, this is another very rare Super Nintendo RPG. I just bought a copy here at PAX East for $30 with just the cartridge, which was in and of itself actually a pretty good deal because the cartridge is reaching about $75 now. So if you paid, when did you buy this?
In October.
Got a really good deal. I think you got a very good deal on that. I think
know,
we're looking at another,
I have to agree. The $74.99 is about.
It is about $75.
It's very true.
Does this have the instruction book? You don't have to,
Actually, you know what? This one.
We'll
might,
just
I'm
assume
not
it
sure.
does.
Okay.
I hope it does. I actually don't
guys
pay
It
ready?
does. It does seem to. It's very nice.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, this is okay. That's really nice. We're again, with games like this, like condition really will affect the value, and in this case, it
And
is
the
in
map.
very, very nice shape. And I would say we're getting up into the $150, $175 range for a complete copy of this game.
Nice.
I rented one back in the day. I should have just kept it and paid the. No, I lost it. I don't know.
Well, thanks a lot
Well,
for bringing
Dan,
this
thank
up.
you very much for bringing all this in today. Let's have Beth L up here. Beth L. And then you know who's going to be on deck is Joey D. Beth L. and then Joey D. will be after Beth L. And here she comes. Great.
Hey, good to see you, man. Whoa, you okay?
I just want you ready, basically. I just want,
Get in the batting cage.
I don't want you to fall asleep or whatnot. Yeah. Okay, here, you sit here. On deck circle.
Hello.
Hi, Bethel.
Hi,
Frank.
Bethel.
Can I call you Bethel?
No. That's not my name.
Beth,
do you
what
got
have you
for
brought
us?
us?
I have brought a Neo Geo Pocket and several complete games.
All right. Let's look at the Neo Geo
All right.
Pocket.
Although I don't know how many you want me to show.
Throw them all out there.
Let's play with the clicky stick. I love the clicky stick.
So sadly, the Neo Geo Pocket is not a Neo Geo in your pocket, but it is a
Oh, you got
portable
something in
gaming
here.
system, roughly
Yeah.
equivalent in
Actually,
power to the
two
Game Boy
without boxes,
Advance.
too.
And one thing we've
Oh, look
started
at all
to-
these.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of games.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing we started to see is a couple of you saw the news story about the portable Neo Geo being made.
Oh, yeah.
That came out and a lot of people were like, wait, didn't SNK already make a portable Neo Geo? And so there's been sort of a revival in the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
How can we, can you see
And
it?
as we all know, awareness can drive demand. As people
Yes.
start remembering things, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go buy one, and that's how prices start to go up. So you've got a couple of cool games.
We got some good ones here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where should we start?
Where should we start?
Let's
let's start
all
with
right.
the system. The system is
Okay.
pretty easy to find. The system is, I mean, you're looking at like $30 to $40 for a Neo Geo Pocket
Mm-hmm.
Color.
What about with a copy of Picture Puzzle?
What is it called? Picture puzzle?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I don't even know what that
hazard a
is.
guess.
It's,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Picross.
Okay.
I saw it earlier at down in the dealers down there.
Oh, you just bought it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what'd you pay for it?
$9.
Okay, so it's probably worth about $9.
I think your batteries died.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Well, what?
Yeah.
Why isn't it turning on?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
Is it going on?
There we go. There we go.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, left off where I played.
All right.
So let's talk about some of these. So first of all, my eyes are immediately drawn to this Mega Man game. Frank. To Rockman, what is it called? Rockman Battle Fighters.
It's the 2 arcade games.
It's the, oh yes,
fighting
that's right.
games, yeah.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about these. Have you played this?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's basically a scaled down version of the 2 arcade games.
Oh, okay.
You played the
So-
arcade games, right?
This is, sorry?
You played the arcade games,
Not
right?
as much.
So
Not
they're
as much.
fighting games.
fighting
They're
games.
one-on-one fighting games, but they control like Mega Man. So you've got to jump and shoot. You still absorb the boss's powers, and they're
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Right. So with this game, I mean, first of all, the box is in really, really nice shape.
Yep.
You've got a very nice collection here in terms of condition. This was only released in
There's
Japan.
no resale.
No resale. Oh yeah, there was that period of time when Japan was really trying to crack down on the sale of used games, and a lot of stores even like got rid of their inventories when the law was kind of still like shady on whether or not they could do it, and they had that mark on there.
We've also
So,
got.
yeah.
We can move on. Yeah.
Go on.
Metal Slug. Second mission. I'm not actually familiar with the Neo Geo Pocket Color library, so I'm going to just feign ignorance on all these, but I can hold them.
They're,
And you guys
I
can
mean,
talk
Chris
about
talks about the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Yeah. So the games range from $20 on the low end if you've got a really nice copy of whatever Neo Geo Pocket Color game in a box, up into the past $100 mark. Rock Band Battle and Fighters is one of the games that will go a little bit towards the high end. Somebody would probably pay that is very nice.
is a
probably
receipt.
pay you- Wait, what is this?
I think it's an old receipt.
It's a receipt, but the text is gone.
Oh, okay.
But it's
That'll
a
happen.
receipt, yeah.
and she also has Cotton, the shooter.
That was,
Yeah,
I was going to say.
That's a special one, right?
That
Yeah,
didn't-
exactly.
that didn't come out in the
A lot
US.
of your money is actually in this this copy of Cotton here. This is tough to find even in Japan. And again, you've got a really nice copy of this.
Where did you get this one?
I got it for Christmas.
Really?
Yes.
Who bought you that for Christmas?
My friend of mine who actually is a fan of Cotton games.
Wow. You got a good friend.
Thank that friend. Yeah, so that game is that's up in the $150 range just for that game. Yeah.
At one point, I did have Evolution, but unfortunately, I had to sell it for money for a trip.
I'm Sorry, was it a nice
It was
trip?
an English clamshell with everything, and I sold it for 120.
Where'd you go?
It went on eBay. Oh, I went to Vegas.
I can come back with 2 of them.
Priorities. So
Do you
yeah, I would say
regret
these
it?
are your 3 kind of
Good.
major games here. You know, again, you've got a lot of really good-looking stuff, but
We'll go through these really quick.
yeah. So I mean,
I
you know,
have-
you're probably approaching for what you've brought in. It's not quite $1,000, but you know what I mean. It's probably more like $500-600 at absolute like retail. You know, if Joe were to sell them at the store to some unsuspecting dupe.
The Joe prices aren't real prices, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
You guys like Cool Jam? Let's try. And then finally,
So anyway, yeah, this is a very cool collection.
yeah, thanks for bringing this in, Beth.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, sorry, Bethel.
Joey D is coming up. How about Daniel Z? Daniel Z, you're in the on deck circle. Either you know, sort of figuratively, you can say where you are, or you can sit here.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good,
How you
Frank.
doing?
Good. All right, what do we got?
This is a vintage Space Invaders strategy guide that I won in a Space Invaders tournament. I have no idea what it's worth.
What tournament when?
3 years ago.
Okay.
And it's got no ISDN number, so I couldn't look up any further information about it. It's published by Taito.
Wow.
I've never seen one. I've looked for them on eBay to see what it's worth. I have no
What
idea. I
version
never
of
found
Space
it.
Invaders?
The arcade version.
Arcade.
1980. Yeah, and this is from Taito.
Yeah.
It's not yeah, this is definitely a consumer strategy guide.
Was it 1980 the year that Burger Bill Heineman won the Space Invaders World Tournament?
Definitely,
so?
maybe.
Well,
Possibly not.
there's some history behind it.
Random, yeah, definitely.
This is, I didn't know this existed either. I've never seen from this era especially, like a publisher printed strategy guide for an arcade
Yeah,
game.
that's the thing that really kind of messes with me is that
Yeah.
it's not some sort of a third party thing.
Yeah,
they
this
threw
isn't like a
together.
Jeff Robin book. This is like actually from Taito. It's really, wow.
How to win at Donkey Kong.
I have honestly never heard of this. You said you've researched online. You couldn't find any information about it
Couldn't
either.
find anything about it.
Like even Amazon doesn't have a listing or anything? Wow.
Not that I could find.
What are you looking to get out of it?
I'm looking to become a better Space Invaders player.
But you already won the tournament.
All right, so
This is Joe's Pawn Star moment where he's kind of talking to the camera going, all right, this guy's got a Space Invaders strategy guide. I want to have it in my shop. The question is, can I get it for the right price?
You know, if I'm not mistaken, Taito USA back then was like 3 or 4 people too.
Yeah.
For them to, like, I'm serious. They mostly just distributed.
Yeah, Steve, what do you think?
yeah, so this is one of those areas where the value in Japan might be much higher than it is here in the U.S. I think that it's sort of a niche item here in the U.S., but Space Invaders caused a shortage of the yen coin in Japan, and Taito releases everything they do special edition only gets released in Japan because of the Space Invaders craze. I think the fact that it is published by Taito is really, really interesting. And what I think it might be is actually a translation of a book released in Japan because the photographs are of the Japanese cocktail, not the U.S. upright, at least from what I saw.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's a Taito USA.
You know, in the U.S., it's sort of finding the right buyer. I think you'd have to have people fight through it.
I know the answer
yeah.
for something like this is, do you want to know how much it's worth? Great, put it on eBay.
Yeah.
Let
Put
the
it on
auction run
Yahoo
its course,
auctions in Japan,
and then that's how much it's worth. And
actually,
it's so hard to say otherwise.
Right.
So unfortunately, I mean, I think we're all going to throw our hands up in desperation here. And
The printing on the alien is really interesting. I don't know if that's a
Yeah.
defect or if like that's an artistic license on the alien, but it's really weird. Melted.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
it is a fascinating item, and we thank you for bringing it in. But man, we know nothing about it.
Yeah. Talk to us
Except for,
after
I
the
think
show.
that was a good observation of yours, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
So there was another Joe D, right? That was the first Joe D. There's a second Joe D. Yeah, okay. You can be, yeah, you're on deck. Joe D number 2.
Is he in the batting cage now?
What up?
Joe D is next after this?
He's next after this
Okay,
guy.
cool.
Yeah.
Hi, what's your name, sir?
Dan?
Dan, Frank, good to meet you.
Joe, nice to meet you, sir. I have a in-the-box copy of
Oh, I know what that is.
Custer's Revenge.
So
We didn't
what
have
is,
an
what is
age
Custard
gate coming in
doing
here, did we?
on this
I
box?
believe Custard is about to force himself on the Indian woman tied to a pole on the other side.
Yeah.
So you can take it out.
I like the
I would
little
go
lock.
into okay, hold on. I would talk about what this is. Is there anybody out there who doesn't know what this is?
We'll tell you when you're
I know
older.
there's
Yeah.
two people in the back. You're
The manual is underneath
yeah.
the game too. If you want.
You're gonna have to ask your parents. I'm not gonna.
It sticks a little bit, but it will come out. Okay. And then the manual.
So this is in very nice shape. I think
Joe,
you actually.
I think
hold
you're
on.
the Atari expert on this panel.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So you do have some sun fading on the box. This area here you can show is.
Did you display it in your window?
It's sun faded.
Oh yeah, I see. You
It
guys
sits
see
in
it?
it sits in my sunroom next to the wedding photo.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you've got the leatherette fake Naga hide, whatever the hell case that it came in.
It's
You've got the
absolutely
instruction
complete.
manual, which is very good. You've got the warranty card.
Yep, it's in there.
If you actually okay.
Did they actually do a die cut just for the warranty card? Is that?
They did. And they
That's
actually
really
thought
weird.
that people were going to admit on a postcard that they purchased a pornographic Atari 2600 game. They're like, yes, here's my name and address. Send the police. This has been going up in, again, time was, I went to Classic Gaming Expo and you could buy sealed copies of this at the Classic Gaming Expo table for $40. Those days are long gone, I believe.
They are.
Yes.
Unless you
What
have a stash of them somewhere.
Well,
Oh, you guys see that hesitation
there? I think John Hardy has the last sealed one. But sealed, that game probably goes for $100. In that condition, probably 60.
I think it's a little higher than that now these days.
They're not as uncommon. I mean, it's an interesting story, but there are a lot of them out there. I bet
True.
if you were to go on eBay right now, I bet you could buy one. You might find buy it now is for 90 or $100. Doesn't mean it's worth 90 to $100.
I think you would find some buy it nows that are over $100 that have actually completed for
I wouldn't
copies in
pay
the box
that.
like this. Yeah. But that does illustrate the difference between. Thank you for coming. We're done.
I spent $5 at a farmer's market.
You spent $5 on it? Okay, well, you know what?
All right. Great deal.
Was it next to some produce?
It was in a huge box of old games. It was about 50 copies of Canyon Bomber and Air Sea Battle, none in the boxes, and that.
And then that?
It was the most random thing.
Tell me
I've
about the
ever
farmer you bought this from.
seen. She was a very sweet old lady that mostly had old furniture. I don't know what it was doing there. I thought I might have not been actually seeing what it was.
Right. Yeah. It's like, what? Well, whether Joe's right or I'm right, you got a very good deal.
Yeah. And,
yes.
This is a really interesting piece of video game history, so thank you for bringing this up.
It absolutely is. Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Joe D number 2 is coming up, and then we're going to have Adam L. Adam L. We really tried to, I apologize, Joe D number 2, because that's why we took the first name last initial, because didn't think we'd have 2.
This is Joey from RetroWare TV.
Oh.
Hey.
Thanks for the plug there, Joe.
I know.
So Joey brought us a beat up
Give him that
box
$20
copy of Jaws.
Yeah, great.
I'm thinking $500.
Wow.
$500
That's a rare one.
Jaws.
Yeah, that's tough. That's yeah.
There's actually
Beat up Jaws box.
That's not what's in here.
It's not what's in there.
What's in here
Okay.
is something actually very special, which I'm gonna very slowly.
The reveal.
Like Custer's Revenge.
Should we play the stripper music while you do this?
Yeah, you guys know what that is. All right, so why don't you tell us about this before I do?
All right, so this is one of the, for sure I know of, 3 English prototypes for Earthbound for the NES, Mother 1. Actually, I'm really mad I didn't bring my correct screwdriver to open it up and show you the board, but...
Well, luckily there's no screws in here.
Oh, perfect. So yes, this particular one was actually one of two found by a guy at a garage sale in
Yeah.
2006.
The Jolly Rancher find?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the same guy who found the Nintendo Campus Challenge, so
Yeah.
the only known copies of
Among
yeah.
I thought that guy who got the Custer's Revenge for $5 got a good deal.
And yeah.
So this is,
yeah.
I mean, all of us on this panel can tell you this is absolutely a prototype board for the Nintendo, and knowing the history of this purchase, as with any hobby, is a very important key to authenticating this. I mean, this is the real deal. I don't think any of us would disagree with that.
Frank would know. I'm going to say
I guess
that.
I would.
This
Kind of
guy
my
can
thing.
identify a prototype board.
I've seen these before.
Put it in there. There we go. Just shove it in
Joey,
there.
have you
It'll
dumped
fit.
this somewhere? Is
That
there-
pic,
is
and
there-
by the
is
way,
there
if
ROM
you've
available?
seen Retro Game Roadshow before, do not let Frank touch your items. I know he
So-
touches everybody's item, but do you see that picture of him wearing the Power Glove? That was just somebody's Power Glove at Retro Game Roadshow. We're trying to
I
evaluate, he
asked
just
him.
shoves his hand in.
I asked him, can I put this on? He said
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
and then I did. And everybody laughed. It was a good time.
So I've actually, someone helped me out by giving me an NES that was capable of dumping ROMs, and so I dumped that,
And did you compare it to the one online? Is it identical?
yeah, it's identical to the initial dump
Yep.
of the original 1998 find.
Okay, so of the three, two of them have been dumped. When we say dumped, do you guys know what we mean by that? That means that the copy of the data on the cartridge has been copied to a computer, and we can read it and see what's on there. So yeah, I imagine all three are probably the same build. I mean, it's a near final game. The only thing not final about it is there's a. I don't know, have you played this? Have you
A
played
little
it?
bit, yeah.
So have you gotten to the piracy screen that tells you shouldn't own this?
No, not that far. It mostly sits in a dark corner in a well-manicured corner of my room.
Good.
Of your lawn.
So this has gone through a few hands. This one. Why don't you run us through this?
That particular one, I believe, went from Jolly Rancher to someone in, and I actually confirmed, I just tracked these people down and asked them, a guy in the Netherlands, and then to a guy in Great Britain,
Right.
who I bought it from via eBay probably a couple of years ago.
Okay. And what did you pay on eBay?
Do I have to say?
No.
A little over 1,000.
Okay.
But I've seen it, apparently the one before that went for 1,500.
Yeah. The initial sale from Jolly Rancher I think was $1,500 if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know about that.
So the thing about one of a kind games, and actually I have one I can show later if we want, is that once the and you know this I'm sure once
I think
once,
this would be a good time to show your one-of-a-kind prototype.
sure, okay.
This is the moment.
I brought one too. This guy here.
I brought one-of-a-kind prototype.
This is BioForce Ape. Thank you. I left the screws in, unlike you, so we can't open BioForce Ape. But this is another game that never, like Earthbound, never actually came out, and this is the one known copy of BioForce Ape. And again, like this one, I dumped the ROM, so this thing is kind of worthless now. But
No, wait, put it back. Hold on a second. I just want to record this for posterity that we have Earthbound and BioForce 8 on the same table
And
for
a box
maybe
of
the first
Jaws.
time.
and a Jaws box, yeah.
And
It's
the trifecta of rare video game items.
I just gotta
Aren't
say,
you glad you didn't go to the giant bomb panel?
yeah.
You would have missed this.
I just gotta say, this is one of those PAX moments, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Where else are you gonna see all this stuff together except for Joe's thing? But
Well,
So
anyway,
okay. So this, the prototype games for the NES, should they actually be one of a kind, right? Should the ROM not be online? They tend to sell these days for God knows how much anymore. In my day, about 1,000 was what you'd expect, but I've seen them go for up to like $5,000 now if there's no other way to play them. But once the ROMs are dumped, they tend to go for a lot less. Earthbound, I think, it's friggin' Earthbound, right? So they're like. Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of one of the best games ever made. I don't know if you noticed that. So I think, yeah, about $1,000. I wouldn't expect this one to go much less than that. And I don't know, what do you guys think?
I think it would
It's
go higher. I think, with the proper attention on an auction
Yeah.
or something like that, you would actually get more than $1,000 for it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, to put it in
Because of what-
perspective, there's that Earthbound wooden ruler. So it was basically like that old school ruler you had with Earthbound stenciled onto it, sold for $750.
Yes.
And that's a ruler. So,
Yes. Earthbound fans have a lot of money, and they're not good at spending it.
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, I can actually see this, unlike other prototypes that have been dumped, actually appreciating in value because it's Earthbound.
Yeah.
So
Especially because you have you have provenance. You know where it came from. It's been authenticated several times over. But yeah, what an amazing item to bring to us. Thank you very
thank
much.
you very much.
Thank
What
you.
are you going to plan on keeping this or what?
Anything's for sale at the right price.
I see.
Yeah.
I'll trade you.
Correct answer. Whoa.
5-4 save?
You want to make an offer on the both of them? If you bundle things together, you
Yeah,
can sometimes get a better
Bioforce
deal.
Ape and,
And Earthbound?
and Earthbound. No, I don't make an offer right now. Maybe later.
All right, Joe. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Adam L., you were on deck. Where are you? Get up here. Hello. Come on. After Adam L., we're going to have about 20 minutes left. So after Adam L., we are going to have up here Paul P. Paul P.
Pulp.
Only pulp. Yes, pulp.
A Damel.
Damn. Adam
Hi,
L.
Adam L. Have a seat. Yeah,
Hi.
come on. Yeah.
Adam.
One person. Come on. Okay. Ready?
Don't leave Bioforce Ape up there,
Why not?
because anything sitting next to it just isn't going to compare.
You're right.
Maybe not
I'll
this.
take that, Frank.
PAL Super Nintendo.
I don't trust you.
Oh, wow.
All right. Tell us what we got here.
It's a brand new, perfectly sealed copy of Terra Enigma for the Super Nintendo, but it's the PAL version.
Right.
It was actually never released in North America.
Right.
Yep, it was only Japan and the UK.
Yeah, and this is the sequel to Illusion of Gaia.
So,
Is this in English, first of all? It's the UK English version? Okay,
Yep.
well,
Yeah.
that makes it worth more money. I'll tell you that right now.
Yep. And I've actually never seen a sealed PAL Super Nintendo game in person. I didn't realize they had this cigarette-like band.
Yeah. And again, we've never really evaluated a sealed PAL game, but I feel like that Nintendo band across it is...
That's
you know,
got it, yeah.
It's giving me an indication that that is a legitimate seal.
You wouldn't fake that, would you, Adam?
If I did, it would probably look a lot worse than that.
Can I rub it off? No. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us how you came about this. Did you buy this on eBay or what?
Where'd you get this?
When I was just coming out of high school, I was big into game trading, and on the internet. I forget the name of the website, but they're still gone today. And I used to trade all
Game
manner of
TZ?
things, Neo Geos, everything, games, rare stuff. And I ended up getting this in a trade with a whole mess of other stuff. And I think the thing I traded for it would probably be around, I don't know, $70, something like that.
Well,
But
it's
this
worth
was
more
like
than that.
10 years ago or
Yeah,
something like that.
sure.
Was it an international trade? Were you here and they were there, or what?
I'm not 100% sure because there was international trades going on, but I think it might have been somebody in the U.S., but I'm not sure.
So, I'm looking at this myself. I see no crushing or anything. Does anyone need to look at this up close before we move on?
I mean, I can take a look.
Do you trust me? Okay. So have you ever played this game?
I have played the ROM
Not
before,
so hot on it now.
but yeah, but because there's really no other way to play it because you have to have a PAL system or a converter.
You don't just want to bust that open? And, oh, yeah.
I've actually had a lot of trouble getting this evaluated because I've actually checked a few different places and it's hard to find fully sealed on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
And I've seen them go from about 250 to maybe, I think we checked earlier and there was one for I think like 600, I think, but I don't know if I believe it.
Have you tried having this graded? You know, that there's that VGA company that puts them in a plastic slab and puts a number on it.
I never actually knew about that.
Just a little bit of background. I recently came into a very large collection of sealed games that came into my store from a customer who had passed away. We wanted to be really careful about the sales of them. So instead of just setting values for them, we basically put a whole bunch of them out there at $9.99, just let them go. To make a long story short, we had a Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which was factory sealed. It was a black label. It was beautiful condition to my eyes, but it was not VGA graded. So the collector bought it. The first time it went for about $550. So I was thrilled, we sent it out. It came back to me. He said, there's a little tiny nick by the UPC code. And I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I took some pictures of it really, really close, put it back on eBay, made it $400. Guy bought it, sent it back to me a week later. There's a teeny little hole in the plastic up on the top. Sent it back, and so it has been back in my hands 3 or 4 times. I finally sold it for $200.
Whoa.
Yeah.
If I had just had it graded in the beginning, I would have at least known that that was the value. But there's a tremendous difference in sealed games between one that's really perfect to a sealed games collector and one to somebody like me who just looks at it and it looks nice.
And Joe, just really brief, I think this, Adam's not aware of this service. Can you kind of briefly describe what they offer?
I wish I knew the website. I know the
Video Game Authority. So I've actually had a couple things graded.
Oh, please do.
So what you do is you pack it up as well as you can because you're shipping a sealed game. In fact, I'm kind of shocked it's not in a box protector right now.
You got to get a box
It's making me real nervous, the fact that it's not in a protector.
I'm having half a heart attack just sitting here looking at it unprotected.
So what you do is you ship it to them, and it's actually very expensive. They give you volume discounts, but it's about $50 to $60 to get it graded, and it comes back in this acrylic case that's completely sealed. So some people consider it bricked at that point because the only way to get to the game is by actually breaking the acrylic, and it's kind of like this but totally sealed. And it has a grade on it that it's anywhere from I think 0 to 100.
And the point of this is to sort of protect buyers, right?
Exactly,
It's
right. So
authority that's like, we're experts at this. We'll notice these little nicks that maybe you wouldn't, and here's a number on it. And the idea being that everyone sort of trusts this grade. So if you see something on eBay and you see that it's a 90, you know that it's a 90.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. You know it's an authentic seal. You know that when the game was put in there, that's the condition that it was in. And because it's in this acrylic box, it's that condition is not changed at all since it was put in there.
Right. So even looking at this copy, I saw, hey, there's the box is a little dented on this end, the shrink wrap is a little warped, and all those things factor in and can make a really big difference in price. I think that's why we're having such a hard time here, is because for the sealed collectors, they're so picky that without that grade, it's one of those things where you might find a bunch of sealed collectors that'll take a crapshoot at a couple $100, and then if you get it graded, then you'll know pretty much where it stands when you put it on eBay.
But it's so important to note, like Terra Enigma is one of the only PAL games that was released in English, and it's from a known series of games that was not released in the U.S. So it's one of the only PAL Super Nintendo games that U.S. collectors kind of drool over too, and they want copies of this. And so that is driving prices of cartridges up. It's driving prices of complete in-box copies up. Certainly, it would drive prices of a sealed copy up.
So are we recommending that this get graded?
You're right that we recommend that you get it graded. Actually, first find out if VGA even grades PAL games, because they might not know enough about PAL seals to be able to determine whether or not it's authentic. But if they do, get it graded, or you can actually just buy from VGA cases like this that Steve has, which you can just put it in there and then at least know that it's not going to accidentally get fucked up when you have it in your backpack and bring it to PAX, basically. I'm very happy that you brought it here. I would
Don't
be in
do
a
it
safe
again.
in my house. Yeah. It's worth many hundreds of dollars. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
That is I've done, so you know a little bit more about me, I've done 3 of these panels so far. This is the only time somebody has ever come up with something that I'm like, I hate you, I wish I was you. I wish I owned that. That is really cool. Yeah, who did I say is coming up? It's this guy. Paul.
Paul, yeah.
Let's get John S. right after Paul. John S.
How you doing, Paul?
Fine.
Hey, Paul.
Batteries.
Was Paul your nickname in high
Good.
school?
Yeah,
Okay.
I found some C batteries actually. Now mine are a little bit different than some of the collectors that are up here because they're pretty well worn items. Oh, sorry. They're pretty well worn items. I've had them since probably about 85 or 84 when they came out. So. Is the battery?
Yeah, cover's there.
The cover's there. Yeah.
That's good.
So I'm trying to get a view inside. There we go.
So, oh hey.
There we go. Yeah.
This was the arcade experience at home.
So what we're looking at here is, this is actually part of the Nintendo Game & Watch series. The Game & Watch series, some of you have even brought in the smaller versions of the Game & Watch, were, little handheld, kind of the predecessor to the Game Boy. But they made a few Game & Watch tabletop editions, which were, as Steve said, essentially designed to replicate as if you had a little tiny arcade machine in your house. And these do, in fact, go for quite a bit of money among collectors today. And this is in full, good working condition, I assume?
It's in good working condition. If you take a good look at it, there are a lot of scratches around it.
Sure.
I mean, this is before Game Boy, so I used to actually carry this like it was a car ride trip. I took it everywhere with me, this huge thing.
This is your childhood toys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so the big thing with Game & Watch is usually the box is obviously the big differentiator because nobody kept those. Why would you? It's a portable game system. And then the other is things like the battery cover. On there. So it seems like you've got one fully intact. There are scratches from normal use, but you can also see the silk screening on the control panel and sort of around it is all still intact as well. So those are the big things. Like Game & Watch collectors, kind of like the sealed collectors, start getting really, really picky. Some of them are okay finding the ones that get Popeye sounds. Some of them are okay finding ones that are complete intact and working, and then others want one that no one has ever touched or even breathed on. So you kind of have a big difference there. I'm going to throw out a guess, probably somewhere in like the $90 to $100 range. Joe, I don't know if you've seen a bunch of Popeyes.
Do you want to see this?
Yeah, the only thing I'm not sure, I'd like to call a friend of mine who's an expert in these things. Frankie, there's no side art. I don't remember if this had it.
No,
and I do know that the top is yellowed, probably from all of the light going through it.
Your confusion regarding the side art.
What's your name, by the way?
Hi, my name's Frankie. Not to be confused with Frank. The confusion on the side art is that there was a Donkey Kong Jr., and that did have stickers on the side, but that's the only of the 4 that were released that had stickers. Otherwise, I would say this is in excellent condition. You could see some discoloration on the light window, the light panel here. This does not have a backlight in it. These tabletop Game & Watches allowed natural light to refract off of a mirror, and you play the game like that. So if you want to play this in the dark, you have to have a flashlight in your room. Otherwise, here's something to make note of. There was probably a sticker here that would include all of the specifications regarding the kind of power that was used and the battery types. It's missing. It looks really clean, which means it was probably fell off and then the glue was wiped down.
What do you think this is worth?
I'd say 100 in this condition is a safe, that's a safe bet. The battery door, you're not going to want to buy these without the battery door because C-cell batteries, you pick it up off the table, bloop, they're going to fall right out.
All right, thank you.
We got something else. Okay, wait.
You smell very nice, by the way.
Aha. Now that I've got that appraisal from my buddy, I know that I want it. The
We've also
question
got
is,
Music Machine here for the Atari 2600.
this just gets better and better.
Yeah.
Now, just like this one, it's well worn because I actually am the original owner of this one as well.
Wow.
Which is a little, it's almost the exact opposite of the Terra Enigma problem where you can't find a sealed copy of Terra Enigma to check out the price on. This game is so rare that I can only ever find a sealed copy on eBay. I've never seen a loose copy, so I have no idea what the value would be.
Now, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. This is from a Christian music company, Music Machine, right?
I'll kick this
It's
over
basically
to Steve.
Christian Kaboom. I know that sounds weird, but you're these kids and you're trying to catch these animals and other things flying out of a machine. And in fact, Joe, you can probably talk more about Music Machine than I can.
And this was, you might have already said this was packaged with a LP, a vinyl album.
Yep.
Originally.
Mm-hmm. I thought there was some debate
It's pretty
about
worn.
that.
Yeah, there's actually some debate around whether or not the album came with it or it was boxed and people just shrink wrap the album along.
Yeah, because it wouldn't
alongside.
fit in that box.
Right. Yeah, fold up some vinyl.
yeah.
It works fine.
Do you remember? Did it come with the record?
I actually have no memory of whether or not it came with
No, we should have verification.
You didn't save the box. You didn't remember with the record.
Yeah. So just
Historians rely on memory. Come on.
as Frank mentioned, this game was actually only sold in Christian bookstores. So that's why they're so rare, is because you don't go into a Christian bookstore thinking, I'm going to buy a 2600 game today. So yeah, that does lend to the rarity.
So of the many obscure, weird Atari games that are rare as hell, I mean, this is kind of in the top 10 usually, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Because of the channels, the only way you could get it, like
Yeah.
you said, was in a Christian bookstore.
You know, what's really interesting about the Atari, I mean, didn't we just recently discover another Christian game that, like, no one, wasn't it last year? Wasn't there another Christian game that someone discovered that, like, was, like, actually manufactured and there's one copy that's been found?
Last one I saw was Extraterrestrials, but that doesn't sound like a...
No, there's
something
another.
you
No.
would find in a
Oh, no, they didn't find the game. They found an ad for it? No, I don't know.
Anyway,
All right.
Whatever, it's
Anyway.
Atari.
back to reality, the game in front of us.
Yeah.
A few $100s, I would say.
Wasn't that your last appraisal?
The fact that the label is worn on the side there. The thing is, I mean, yeah, the label's worn on the side there, but as you said, you couldn't find a loose copy
Yeah.
to talk about. So there's Atari collectors out there that are kind of drooling right now over the chance to get their hands on a loose copy of this game. So they will bid it up because there are people crazy enough to try to complete an entire Atari 2600 collection.
Right. I think what you do is you'll find people, there's a delta, right? There's people who just collect card only because they'll never have a complete in box 2600 collection. So it won't reach the same price as a complete in box, but it'll get close.
Not
Yeah.
A few $100. Again, put it on eBay, see what happens.
You
Well,
just
thank
want
you
to
very
buy
much for bringing
everybody's
these in.
stuff.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Here's where we're at. Yes, I've invited John S. After that, we're going to have a very special guest come up and try to stump our panel. And then that's going to be all the time that we have. Now, if you still have items, this is what's going to happen. We are going to go to the classic game console room. After the panel, that's where we are going to be. So if you want to come and find, we have to clear out of this room. But we're going to go hang out at the classic gaming console play area. The panelists, those of us who can make it, where we will be there. Bring your items up to us. We'll chat with you guys some, even if you don't have items. Just come and chat with us over there because they will move us along essentially as soon as they can. So that's where we're going to be, and that's where we'll talk to you about items if you weren't able to bring them up. And we do appreciate you all coming down. We're sorry we tried to run through the list as fast as we could. But let's talk to John here about this thing. What
I'm
are you
excited.
doing?
All right, I got to plug over here. Okay. We're going to see if we can turn this on.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure. What's the worst that can happen? All right.
Okay.
So,
Power's on.
Sorry.
Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Numbers.
The Starfield doesn't work.
Okay.
All right. So before Child's Play, back in like 1976, if you were a sick kid who spent a lot of time in a hospital, you really hoped that you had a cool uncle that would send you something like Star Trek Phaser Battle.
Were you that kid?
I was that kid, actually. Yeah, this was really awesome. It was made by a company called Mego, who made the little like 8-inch Star Trek dolls that had the actual cloth uniforms. And they experimented with a couple, they did like an actual kind of phaser gun game, and then they did this, which had the Starfield, and you could like move I put this in just to protect it for shipping. But it had the joystick that moved back and forth, and you had your deflector shields, and the little like Romulan and Klingon cruisers, whatnot, would pop up, and you'd have to shoot them down. I encourage you, if you want to see some high comedy, go on YouTube and do the search for the commercial from '76. It's hysterical, and there's a reason that they don't show you much of the gameplay for this.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's going to keep doing
Does
that.
that
is
over
the
and
thing.
over again. Right.
And?
Yeah, it was not a precision targeting system by any stretch of the imagination. I just, when I was a kid, I thought it was just me, and then when I had some perspective later and realized, no, it's just a really tough targeting system. But yeah, back in 1976, this was like the closest thing we had to a portable game.
Did you ever beat it? What's the ending like?
Well, no, there's no,
It's better than Mass Effect.
there's no.
Is BioWare going to change the ending?
Change the ending of Star Trek Phaser Battle.
But I just figured I'd bring it just to show you guys, because I mean I had never seen one.
I've never
at
seen
the
one
time,
myself, yeah.
And I mean I've seen them, you know, on eBay with obviously with the box and the original manual and stuff. I've seen them go for like well over $550. And you know, unfortunately, like I said, I'd have to get the star field fixed, because back before graphics, the way they would create the sense of motion was there's a disc on the top there, and then the light would come down from above, and as the disc would spin, you would get the sense, kind of that star field effect moving into the background.
So one of these sort of falls in that strange category of, is it a video game or is it a toy? But because of the time that it came out, it was as close to a video game. Like you said, it was an early handheld unit. And in fact, I remember when I was a kid, this came out the same Christmas as Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and I had them both on my Christmas list, and I got Rock'em Sock'em Robots. The following year, this was nowhere to be found.
Did you ever get one?
No.
Still no.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you $100 for it right now.
You know, and I would think about it seriously. I will definitely take your contact information, but I would want to get the star field fixed, because I would want to sell this as a complete working game.
Good.
So.
Good. And then I'll buy it for $100.
Okay. Fair enough. No, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm going to do it again. Ready?
All right.
All right.
It's wicked loud. All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
So, yeah, thanks for bringing that.
Statistically, one of you in the audience just shit your pants.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So much. Very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. As we get our very special final guests up here to close this panel out, I want to ask you guys a quick trivia question. You know about Sega Saturn games? The only thing about Sega Saturn games out there? What do you think? I'm going to multiple choice. What is the rarest Sega Saturn game? Is it who thinks it's Burning Rangers? No. Who thinks it's Magic Knight Ray Earth? Who thinks it's Panzer Dragoon Saga? Who thinks it's none of the above?
Are we going America or international or what?
Yeah. So you want to put this up by the camera? I can.
Okay.
All right.
Ow.
So
I know the
actual
answer is now.
Steve, talk about these things.
Daytona USA Netlink.
Steve, why don't you come over here? Come here.
Yeah.
Can we switch back to the camera? Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So one of these is worth $7. The other's worth over 700. And they look exactly the same on the front and the back. There actually is no way to tell. But when you look at the inside and outside, that's why if you look at some collectors, they're opening up every copy of Daytona Netlink is because Daytona, because they're looking for this. Inside, there's a black and white insert, and then the disc says CCE Netlink Edition. This was only available via mail order from Sega, and this is how it came. So if you're ever looking around, this is one where a lot of people pass it up, and when you see listings on eBay, people don't realize the Netlink part of it. So some people have gotten, like Steele's, gotten them for $10, $5. But when they've actually been sold as a Netlink edition, you're looking at 700 and above. Last offer I received was 1,000.
So when you go to the flea markets, open up every Daytona USA for the Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
Was there anybody out there that was thinking Daytona Netlink Edition? The guy in the Tanuki suit was. All right.
Daytona CE.
Okay, so finally, we're getting out of here. John Hardy, one last thing.
John.
We got to go.
That's a very nice shirt.
We have to go fast. So John, who is also a founder of the Classic Gaming Expo and of the Video Game History Museum, decided he wanted to bring a mystery box and try to stump the panel and show us something amazing. And so let's have at it.
So part of my thunder was already stolen by some of the people here. Luckily, I brought a little backup. Where's that Custer's Revenge guy? So I have the box that your Custer's Revenge came in. All right? But I'm just using that for transportation now.
Now, John, did you order a pallet of these back in the day?
I can't say that. It's the last one. So, and then for my friend with Music Machine, well, I didn't tell these guys ahead of time what I was bringing, and I actually ended up bringing a box. So, but like I said, I have a backup. So I don't know if you want to discuss that anyway, but
I will discuss it. $5,000.
The other item is a little more one of a kind.
Well,
but
what's making this interesting to me is, I mean, if there is a debate about whether or not the record came with it, you know, this is sealed on its own.
Right.
Right? Like I would think the record would be shrink wrapped with the thing,
Right.
right?
So most people said like it
I
came
mean,
shrink wrapped in the bookstore, shrink wrapped the album to it.
John, what is your
We've
final
debated
item?
for years
Also?
about the record. I personally don't think the record ever came with it. But
No.
And what is the last thing before we have to clear
Last
out of here?
thing?
Last thing.
I found in my basement. Maybe we can.
Of course, you just found
Yeah,
it.
of course.
It's actually
sitting
from
on
the
the floor.
archives of the Video Game History Museum. This is a box for the unreleased Lord of the Rings game by Parker Brothers for the Atari 2600.
Wow.
These boxes were samples that were given out to predominantly Toys R Us, and they were put on shelves. Actually, there's a few on our display in the classic console area, like the Hulk for the Intellivision, Revenge of the Jedi, games 1 and 2 that never came out. We have a little collection of them. I figured I'd bring this just to taunt these guys and torture them, and see if they want to throw a price on it anyway.
$1 million.
Right?
Well, is that the only one that's known to exist? That box?
I believe so, but I would never want to swear to that. It's the only one I know of. So.
Yeah. So the thing here is, I mean, you're not only going against Atari collectors, you're also going against Lord of the Rings collectors.
That's the problem. Yeah. That is a huge issue.
If
Yeah,
I'm not
it's a
mistaken-
big time cross collectible.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe you guys remember, there was another Hulk box,
Yes.
right? That was sold to a Hulk collector,
collector.
ultimately, rather than a video game collector.
Well, that is absolutely amazing. We are super out of
Wait,
time.
Are we
Thank you
supposed to
very
you
much. You gotta
give
say
a price
one
on
more
this?
thing? No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I would never even guess
I'm
this
gonna
thing.
try.
Retro Game Roadshow PAX East 2012 is over. Thank you all so much. You are so great. I love you. Each and every one of you individually in a special way.
Just a reminder,
Thank
everybody,
you.
we're going to the
We're
classic
out.
console
We're going to go to
room.
the classic console room. You can come and talk to us there. Absolutely. We will see you guys soon. Thank you.